Last time we began talking about processing. And processing concludes all the things we do with our data, such as arithmetic. Let's say we have x equal to, is assigned to the number 10, y is assigned to the number 5. An operation we can do is addition. We can add the two numbers. Just quickly restart this kernel here. So we can add the two numbers, we can subtract the two numbers, we can multiply the two numbers using the star or asterisk symbol. We can divide the two numbers. Whenever we divide this way, we always get a floating point number, a decimal number. If we want an integer instead, we use floor division or integer division, which cuts off all the decimal places. There's also the power. We can do exponents or powers using the pow function. The first number is the base, and the second number is the exponent. So those are a few arithmetic operations. Another important class of operations is Boolean operations, which work on Boolean values, true or false. One of them is not. Not just reverses whatever the value is. So x is true, not true is false. Y is false, not y means not false, which is true. We also have and, x and y. And only outputs true if both of them are true. If both x and y are true. In this case, they're not. So and outputs false. If we change both of these to be true, we get true. We have the or operator, which means either of them or both can be true, but at least one of them has to be true. So if, in this case, x is true, so x or y is going to output true. However, if they were both false, well, none of them are true, so we get false. Now, there's some Boolean operators that work on numbers as well. For instance, let's say x is 10 and y is 5. There's the comparison operator, which uses two equal signs, and this checks if the two numbers are the same, the two values are the same, and if they are, it outputs true. If they're not, well, it outputs false. You can think of this as asking the question, are these two numbers the same? And we get false. If I changed y to 10, we get true. Some other comparison operators that involve numbers is the greater than sign. We can check, is x greater than 10? Well, 10 is greater than 5, so in this case, that's true. We can do greater than or equal to. We could do less than. In this case, 10 is not less than 5, so this is false. We can do less than or equal to. Also false. So those are some important Boolean, operations that return Boolean values. And why this is important is when we're dealing with conditions, like if statements. And the condition goes inside these parentheses. And if whatever is inside these parentheses has the value true, it's going to run whatever code is indented within that statement. So for instance, if I just put true right there, and let's print test 1. It prints test 1, because whatever is inside here is true. It is true. We could do our Boolean operations, true or false. That's also true. If I did true and false, that's not going to print out, because true and false, the and only runs if both are true, and they're not in this case. Else, on the other hand, which comes right after, it only runs the code that's indented after it if the condition for the if statement was false. So it runs if this was false. So if I print out test 2, it's going to run test 2 in this case, since this is false. Now here's a more practical example of using if statements. Let's get someone's age. We're going to use it as a number, so we'll convert it to a number, int input, and we'll say, please enter your age. And we'll print out kind of what group they're in. So for instance, if their age is less than 13, we'll print out, you are, I guess, a child. Now, I'm going to introduce a new keyword here, elif. This is a combination of else and if. This runs only if the condition in here was false. but it lets you add another condition. So I could say if age is less than 20 this time. So this is only going to, it's only going to check if age is less than 20 if this one was false. And we can print you are a teenager. We can do another elif. We can add as many as we would like. So I could say if age is less than 30, for instance. It's only going to check if age is less than 30 if this was false and if this was false. If all the ones before it were false. And I'll say print you are a young adult. I can add another one, and again, this is only going to check this one if all the other ones were false. Let's say age is less than 60. Let's just say you are an adult. And we'll do one more, and since it's the last one, it's going to write else, because this means if all the previous ones were false, run this. It's kind of a catch-all at the end. You are a senior. Let's test this out. So please enter your age. Let's say I'm 25. It says you're a young adult. If I did, let's say 12, you're a child. If I did something large like 100, just quickly restart the kernel. Let's say we did something like 100, we get you're a senior. That's one example of how you can use conditions.